In this video, I want to break down the 9 steps to your first $100,000 month, your first 6-figure month. This is what's worked for us and many of our clients, and the process that I think fundamentally sets up your foundations for which you can scale upon no matter how much you want to scale. And this is relevant if you are a digital marketing agency, an expert freelancer, or some sort of marketing service provider or consultant. In our world, alt agency, we have this concept of the road to base camp. And if you've ever heard of the people that climb Mount Everest, well, it takes them a couple weeks to even get to base camp, 7 to 14 days to get to base camp. Then you hang out at base camp for sometimes 30 plus days to get acclimated to the altitude to then be able to be ready to go up to the top. And I think building a business is very similar. There are things that we need to do to build the foundation in order to be in a position to scale up to 6-figure months. Now, a big common mistake that I see people make is that they focus only on the immediate issue. This is not necessarily a bad thing because obviously you want to take care of the pain, but if you fall and you hurt your shoulder, you're going to put some ice on it. But unless you go get x-rays and understand maybe if there's internal damage, you might overlook fixing things that actually create long-term problems. So I noticed that a lot of programs and courses that you could buy on the internet focus on, very tactical things. But when you solve that one thing, it actually impacts something else down the line. And oftentimes the educators on that don't actually talk about how the one thing actually impacts the whole. In my experience, in my agency, we built sales and marketing systems and automation, as well as new client onboarding automation. So we were always seeing the impact of what something on marketing did to, say, fulfillment. I don't want you to overlook how any one thing that you do inside your business can actually impact the big picture. So there's a huge opportunity when we look at it this way. And that is that we need to build a solid foundation that can support the growth. If you've ever been in a city or a neighborhood where they're doing construction and putting up buildings and or, condos or apartments, you probably noticed or walked by the construction site and there's a fence. And you've seen it where it looks like no progress is being made, but all of the work is them going downward. And they're building out the infrastructure to support the weight from the building or the complex on top of it. But once they get all of that done, it's almost like the whole project finishes like right before your eyes. This is happening around the corner from our house right now. They're putting up an apartment complex. And it's just like for a whole year, they were just going down. You had to look over the fence to see what was happening. And now it's all going up super fast. So I'm sure you can relate. Now, so here's the big idea. That same foundation is something in our business that we need to actually revisit. So kind of like you build a core inside of your fitness and then you have to revisit it often. Just because you got the six-pack abs once, now you need to do maintenance to get there. You build out a sales funnel that brings in qualified prospects. Over time, you need to optimize it. Fundamentally, it's the same funnel, but maybe your messaging changes. You have better clarity on who you serve and the problems. So the context often changes, but the structural stuff that you built, sales funnel into a webinar funnel or a lead magnet into a Facebook group, whatever your funnel of choice is, those things are structurally sound once you build them. And a lot of it is the optimization of that, just like inside of your fitness. So that being said, what I want to take you through is our implementation path. This is our 9 steps that we've gone through to build out the fundamentals needed to get to your first 6-figure month. What I notice here, the kind of a big problem, is that a lot of agency owners, marketers, service providers, consultants, their business was built by default, meaning they take whatever client comes their way, the project is dictated by the client, and so they're just very reactionary. Now, another problem is that because of that, everything inside of sales and marketing is very manual. You go out, you market yourself, you get a couple clients, you have projects, now sales and marketing stops. And you finish the project and everything has to start up again. And lastly, we then find ourselves in a position where we're just responding to whatever demand is out there. People come to us and we feel that we need to take clients that might not even be our ideal client just because we don't know where the next one is coming from. That is not a way to operate. So what do we want to do? We want to go from default to by design. We want to serve the people that we want to help, the people that we know are capable of, getting them a result that we have experience working with. We want to go from manual to systematic. We want to have a repeatable sales process. We want to have automation and systems that have leads coming into our world on a daily basis so that we're positioned to get clients weekly and monthly. And lastly, we want to go from responding to demand to creating demand by having a way to go create traffic, get in front of eyeballs, whether that's organic or paid marketing. So that being said, in order to go from default to design, we actually need to align ourselves and our business with what we actually want to be doing in our business and what we're good at. And to go from manual to systemized, we need to design systems that are repeatable. And to go from responding to demand to creating demand, we need to have a way in which we promote and a process that can do that in both an organic and systematic way, a repeatable way. So that brings us to step number one inside of our line phase. First, we need to identify our ideal client profile, who you serve, what the problem that they have that you're going to help them solve, getting really crystal clear on that. Most agency owners, freelancers, service providers, I see they're just trying to solve too many different problems because they work with anybody. And that isn't a way to grow. It's a way to get experience in the beginning, but once you figure out what you're good at and that you can get clients repeatable results, that's when we can double down on that one type of person and actually start to scale that up. From there, we can hone in on one core offer. And we do this with what we call the core offer roadmap. This is a one-page visual roadmap that shows your ideal prospect your step-by-step process to get them to the result. This does a bunch of things like demonstrate your authority because you have a process. It helps you come up with content in your marketing. It helps you in your sales process if you choreograph that correctly. And it also helps inside of fulfillment because now you have a step-by-step process to get your clients the results that they came to you for. Lastly, we want to then streamline that delivery plan. Once we have the offer and the 9 steps, we can actually look at each of those 9 steps and identify where are the pieces that clients get stuck on? Where are the pieces that I can remove myself as the owner? Who might I need to hire to make this process more seamless? Doing just these 3 things alone, we've seen unlock 2 to 3 times the capacity for a lot of our clients, meaning they can serve 2 to 3 times more clients because their process is more efficient. They've killed the operational drag that is created by serving all the different people, and they've now been efficient by serving one person. So solve one problem for one person using one product or service or process. From there, we can start to create a lot of systems that make our life easy, which means we need a little bit of a tech stack. We need a CRM, we need a way to email people, capture emails, stay on top of our sales pipeline, capture leads, etc. So we want to set up some minimal tech there, and there's a lot of different tools out there available to us to do that, which one of the systems that we first need to make repeatable is our sales process. So all of our clients, if you're selling services over $2,000 to $3,000, you're likely selling from the phone or from a consultation, maybe a strategy session. So we install what we call the mini consult engine. This is like your minimum viable, repeatable sales automation so that every single person that's booking a consultation with you has the exact same experience and you don't let those people fall through the cracks, but you prime them for a sales conversation while filtering for the ideal fit. From there, we can actually go create what we call the expert lead magnet. This is an asset that could be a video, could be a checklist, a template of some sort that is desirable to your ideal client that they'll give you their name and email and phone number for, and so you can capture that as a lead, but it should do a few things and really demonstrate your expertise, inviting them to book a call. So now we have a few key pieces. We have a way to capture leads, demonstrate our expertise, and have a repeatable sales process. So our expert lead magnet will point people into our mini consult engine, and now we have our lead gen and our sales systems set up. From there, we want to go make some money, we want to go monetize and promote. So first we need to look around ourselves. We use a tool called the Audience Activator that we've created, and it's a way to go to your existing sphere of influence, past clients, existing database, or existing audience on social, and follow a couple specific simple campaigns that get people to raise their hand and show interest in your core offer. In addition to that, we actually want to launch our first paid ad campaign. And so this is a low daily budget, low cost ad campaign that starts bringing colder traffic into our world so that we're seeing new leads coming into our world every single day to start growing the audience that we have. So now we have content going out on a consistent basis that is speaking to our audience, and we have a paid ad working to start filling that funnel. And then lastly, if that's what you're doing, then you're probably in a situation where you're having consultations, which means you need to know how to have a sales call. We call it the consultative close. It's our process to diagnose your ideal client's problem to make sure it's a problem you can actually solve with your core offer, and then how to take them through your core offer roadmap in a way that shows that it's actually the prescription to their problem. That's how you're going to enroll clients. So these are the 9 steps. Now, I want to be clear. Going through these 9 steps, I've seen people go through them in as fast as 30 days and having all of these things set up. That doesn't mean they're making their first 6-figure month in 30 days, just like they're building the foundation. These are the foundational pieces that you can get done in 30, 60, 90 days so that we can keep optimizing and tweaking and scaling up to being positioned for our first of many six-figure months. It took us, from once we did those 9 things, about 10 months to hit our first of many six-figure months. We've had clients do it in 6 months, a few that have done it in less, but once you have these 9 things in place, within the first 12 to 24 months, you could hit your first of many six-figure months, depending upon where you're at. Quick recap: identify our ideal client, create our core offer roadmap, streamline our delivery, so it's the same process to get our clients results every single time. Set up our tech so that we can have our sales and lead gen automated. Know how to monetize and activate our existing audience to find clients that are ready to buy right now. Know how to continue to grow our audience by using paid ads, simple paid ad campaigns, and how to have an effective consultation so that we can enroll the right ideal clients into our core offer and core services. Those are the 9 steps. Now, if you're already doing over $100,000 a year in income and you're a digital marketing agency and or a consultant and you want to build out these things, we'd love to help. I'll put a link in the description. You can book a call and we'll walk you through how we can actually help you through this process. Again, if you're doing already over $100,000 a year in income. One of the things we talk about inside of our world at Alt Agency is that the agency game has changed. Selling anything to anybody is not going to help you get to where you want to get to. Most definitely not going to get you a profitable, predictable, and sustainable, healthy business that you love, where you get to focus on the things that you love about your business while still having time for hobbies, family, etc. That being said, you should check out this video on what an alt agency actually looks like and what we believe the future of the agency world looks like and how you can start modeling that for a healthy, predictable, and profitable business that you love that doesn't consume you. Hope you enjoyed, and we'll talk soon.